Hello, you fabulous Fujoshi and fantastic Fudanshi, and to the rest of you, behave yourselves. Welcome back to another one of our weekly Heroines Run the Show discussion videos. I am joined once again by the star-tacular Stella Luna.
Hello.
And we have quite the episode. Getting into episode 10 here.
Ooh.
We got, I think, 2 more to go, I believe.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
But
2 more.
two more? Is it only 12?
Yeah, I think it's only 12. Yep.
Yeah, it is. Ah, shoot. Okay, so next week will be the penultimate episode. And week after will be the final one. Okay. I have thoughts. I have some thoughts, and I'm trying to rein it in, because I don't want to... This is supposed to be, like, chill, lo-fi, hip-hop side of AniTube, right? Not supposed to be very, aggressive. But sometimes the bass gotta drop. Sometimes you gotta drop the bass, and right now I have to drop the bass. And the bass is, if Chizuru was in front of me, I would hit her upside the head with my ukulele, and I wouldn't even feel bad about it. Like, I am so angry at what she's putting these 3 through.
Ridiculous.
110%. I think what happened, like, this week with Hiyori actually quitting, I thought it was going to be a fake out, but, like, no, it really happened. She actually quit, and we're at a point where she might not actually come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, with only 2 episodes left to go, for all we know, they just stay friends, and she's just not their manager anymore. Because, again, this could be, like, a one-and-done type show, right? Where it's, like, 1 season, that's it. I hope it gets another season. I think we'll be able to tell if she becomes manager again, whether or not it's going to get another season. But friggin' Chizuru puts them in this position where I almost called her Hiyoko. Hiyori. Hiyori. They call her a Hiyoko a lot this week. Hiyori ends up quitting, and the boys are really mad about it. And they do try to, like, there is that scene where, like, I'll get into their personal lives as we go, but I do want to point out that there was a scene where they were going to try to track down who did this, right?
Yep.
And Hiyori, of all people, said no.
No.
I hated that.
No, I did too. Because, like, I know Hiyori's, like, trying to be like, I'm thinking about you and I'm being the good one and stuff like that. But, like, Hiyori, the thing is you're encouraging this kind of behavior by doing that. Exactly. If the boys just put their foot down and go, our personal lives are none of your fucking business.
I think a big reason why I was so, like I had that thought of, like, sometimes she do miss, right? Like, because that's all I was thinking, sometimes Hiyori do miss. And I was kind of upset because the show kind of framed it like Hiyori was right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of shitty. By the end, I do think that they're kind of hinting that, like, no, Hiyori was wrong.
Hiyori is wrong. She's just giving her emotional speech.
Yeah, she's just trying. She's trying to be the nice one, right? She's trying to take the hit for the team, but that's not the lesson, right? Which I'm glad that's not the lesson that they seem to be walking away from.
Given the end of towards the episode, and
yes, like, it seems like they're setting it up that it's not the right lesson.
Yeah. And that, like, the family members, like the brothers, like stepping in and stuff.
Yeah, both sets of brothers, older and younger, right?
Yep.
Stepping in. And I think the reason why, like, we went into it a lot last week. The reason why I'm going to bring it up again is because the show now said that Hiyori, like, had Hiyori do, like, what she did. And the reason why that upsets me, and the reason why I think that's a bad lesson, is because we literally saw this happen. If you're in the VTubing community, I'm not going to say who, but a rather prominent VTuber had to address something very similar to this, and where their fan base was actively attacking a friend of theirs. That is shitty behavior and should be called out. And when that behavior was called out, guess what? It made everybody possibly an even bigger fan of that person for calling it out. Right? Because it deserves to be called out. Crazy fans have no place in a fandom. That is a stan, not a fan. And stans should be rooted out of a fandom. They should not be there. Right? And I think that kind of behavior should not be welcome in a fandom at all. Right?
Yeah. And it's the unfortunate like truth about Japanese idol culture
Yeah.
is that it's very real, and parasocial relationships are very, very real.
Yes.
They are very prominent. And the fact that, you know, it was somebody at their school, which obviously it's Chizuru,
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
Who did it, is like, you know, you could just talk to them yourself, right? Like,
You could just walk up and ask. Yeah.
you because like just imagine this, right? You go to school with the idols. You're in the same class as them. What is stopping you from befriending them? What is stopping you from anything?
Cowardice.
Right? Because guess what? Huh?
Cowardice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you have a better chance of getting to know them than like 99% of their entire fan base, because you go to school with them and you're in the same class. But what do you do instead of going up to them and talking to them? You instead attack the girl who is talking to them.
And
who
not
is
only that,
friends with them.
who is your friend.
Yeah.
Right? That's
You
the thing
think-
that I find the shit. I hope Jury knocks her the fuck out. Like,
Oh, I do too.
I genuinely hope Jury hits her at least once. Like,
I'm surprised. Like, I mean, I guess she like this is how I probably would have wanted it to go down, right?
yeah.
Is that Chizuru is like, hey, like I've seen you hanging out with them. Why is that? Like outside of school, right? And
Why?
you know, why, right? And like I feel like Hiyori might tell maybe like that she is their manager, right? Why don't you just go like, hey, like let's all hang out sometime? I don't know. Like
Yeah,
a normal fucking person.
I see you hang out with them. Like, I'm kind of a fan. Like, do you think maybe I could hang out with them too?
Yeah.
In fact, they hung out at the school festival.
Yeah, they did.
So it's like, what the hell, right? Like, I try not to swear too much, but I truly hope that like when Jury finds out, I genuinely hope, it's probably not going to happen, but I genuinely hope that she knocks her the fuck out.
Yes.
Like, I hope she lays her out. Like, just one swift punch, because, like, Jury's the type of girl who would do that shit, right? And, like, especially when one friend hurts another, like, that would... She's either going to be, like, furious or broken by that.
Yeah.
Because Jury kind of welcomed her into that group, like, is the one who brought Hiyori into her group, right? Into their little duo. So, like, Jury finding out that the other member of her trio betrayed one of them is, like, that's going to be a huge gut punch. And, like, I'm very curious. It's funny enough, I'm actually more curious about Jury's response than I am about Hiyori's, right? Because Hiyori, I know, is probably going to be like, oh, but she's my friend, so I forgive you, right? Because Hiyori's too friggin' sweet, right?
She's
like,
too nice.
She's too nice, and she's going to just forgive her, right? And, like, I can feel it in my bones. I hope she does it. I hope she remembers this, right?
Yeah.
Like, more of a, like, I forgive you, but I will not forget that this happened. That's how I would handle it, right? I'd be like, I do forgive you, right? I forgive you for what you've done, but I will not forget that you did this, right? I may forgive you, but I will never forget. I will always be wary around you because of this. We're still friends, but you did burn this bridge. It's not burnt completely, but it is very much singed.
I mean, if this happened to me, I would be like, you can't handle jealousy. I don't need you in my life.
You would cut them out. You would just cut out Chizuru.
Oh, I would. I would.
I think
Because,
it would. I'm saying this as somebody who's on the outside of a situation like this, so I don't know. Like, if I were in it, maybe my reaction would be different. But you know me, I'm very, like, when it comes to people, I'm very, like, I take friendship very seriously, so, and I'm too forgiving, right?
Yeah.
Like, I am kind of I should cut people, because I have cut people out of my life who were toxic, and I should do it more. But, like, sometimes it's hard, right? Because it's your friend. You feel like, but that's my friend. Even though they did something, like, so cruel. Like, this is so cruel, right? Like, what she's put... It's because it's directly on Chizuru's head. All the mean comments, all the, like, the anxiety, losing her manager job, all of this, like, this is all on her head. Because the other thing, too, right? That people... That we all kind of forget, the whole reason she has the manager job is because she wasn't making enough money. So now you're
Exactly.
throwing money problems on Hiyori too. Right? So it's like that's a huge thing that I think a lot of people forget is that, oh yeah, Chizuru also just cost her job. Right? Like a whole list of things.
That worked with her schedule, by the way.
That worked with her schedule, exactly. Like, this is, like, bad. Like, I just, like, to me, I'm like, Chizuru is 110% worst girl of the season, possibly of the year. We'll have to wait and see. Absolutely worst girl when I say season, I don't mean, like, this season of the show. I mean this anime season. Like, absolutely worst girl. And her excuse better be immaculate. Like, it better be so amazing. And even then, no.
Yeah, I was about to say, in my opinion, there is no world that she walks away, like, having a good excuse. Because I'm like, what is the excuse for this?
I don't think she walks away and the viewers don't think she sucks.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't think there's a single viewer who's going to be on her side by the end of this. Like, I really just think she's the worst.
She's the worst.
Yeah. I was a little annoyed, right? Because I thought this week that we would see her get her comeuppance, you know?
It's gonna be next week.
It's going to be next week, and I have to wait a whole week! I wanted it now!
I know!
Kills me.
And I am proud of the boys for handling it.
Yes.
Like, with the press very well.
They handled it like pros. Again, very similar to a situation that happened where they got out in front of the camera, they addressed it, didn't tell the truth.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, because to me, I'm like, just tell them that she's your manager. It's not a big deal. Right? Like, just tell them she's your manager in training. It's not a big deal. Right?
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They instead just went with the fact that, you know, she literally sits in between them. And on top of that, too, like, the other students in class are likely going to be on their side because they're probably going to realize, like, we were really shitty to you, Hiyori. Because, like, it wasn't just you. Like, yeah, they spent a lot of time with you because you're there, and so obviously that you became, like, a friend of theirs outside of the class. But we're all their friend. And we treated you like garbage. Like, I hope that scene happens, that the other members of the class are like, dude, we treated you really badly.
Yeah.
Right? And we're supposed to be a group of friends. Like, Aizo and Yujiro look at us like we're all friends, and yet we attacked you. Right?
Yes.
Like, I hope that they have that, because, like, that's to me, like, because every other reaction, like, the businesses saying, like, good job on the boys, them actually getting new fans over it, like maintaining their current fandom, and then getting new ones too. Like, all of that, I'm like, yeah, that actually tracks if that were the apology given.
I think this is the messed up reality of it, is that the reason that they can't just come out and be like, don't do this, right? Like, and why, like, idol culture is so rampant is because of, like, things like businesses and sponsorships. If you cause a problem, even if it's not your fault, even if you actually didn't do anything, the businesses could still pull out because there is a problem still there with you, which is really shitty, right? Which is it's really bad.
And people want that, like, so all these girls want to pretend like they want the boyfriend experience, you know?
Yes.
They want the BFE, they want the boyfriend experience. And so if the companies see that you're not giving them that, they'll pull out. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, because to them it's like, oh, it's bad
publicity
for us to work with you because your fans are mad at you.
Yeah, and that's idol culture in a nutshell, right? And it's, again, like, as VTubers, unfortunately, like, because VTubing kind of came from idol culture, like, it was a Japanese thing that was brought over, a lot of idol culture still, like, sticks around, even, like, corporate, like, with corporate VTubers, even onto the indie VTubers, you know, like...
I've seen it happen with indie VTubers.
Yeah, it's
like,
very unfortunate.
I have. You know, it is very unfortunate when it does happen, and it's absolutely, like, mind-boggling when it does, because I'm like, it doesn't matter that, like why does it matter that they're in a relationship because at the end of the day, you're probably never going to meet them nor be their friend.
Exactly.
Right? Like you're never, you might like meet them once, but like you're not going to make any type of like relationship with them, whether it be platonic or romantic. Like that's just not going to happen.
No.
You know? Because like they're one person and you are one person amongst a sea of hundreds of thousands.
Exactly. You can love them in the sense that like I adore this group. Like I love their
Yep.
music, right? Like I love their music. I love like their message. I love like their aesthetic, right? But you don't love them the person.
Yep.
You love them as a product.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You love their product. You love their
content.
Their content. Yeah.
Their persona
brand.
that they the persona they put on that it helps produce that content.
Exactly.
Right?
You love the brand.
It's like the same way as I go, oh man, I really love Hawk from Yona, right?
Yeah.
Like I love him. But I know for a fact I'm never going to date Hawk. He's a fictional character, right? It's like my love for him and love for other content creators, if I do watch them and I love their content, is the same as a fictional character.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm never going to date them
Exactly.
or be around them or be friends with them.
That
like I just know that.
Yeah. As a dude, I love Ryan Reynolds. And I know that I will never befriend, be around, or actually start to date Ryan Reynolds, although I can dream.
Oh, we can dream.
Can dream. But that's just it, right? Dream. Like, when I say, like, oh, dude, I love Ryan Reynolds, I'm not actually in love with Ryan Reynolds. And if anybody told me they were, I'd be like, that's weird.
Yep.
That's weird. Yeah, it's the whole thing is very, like, ugh. You know, like,
it
like
is
this
very
whole ugh. That said, though, there was a lot of cute moments, you know, like Yujiro's brother coming to the rescue, Yujiro's dad being, like, really cool.
We found out why Yujiro was in trouble episode 1.
That was crazy. Okay,
finally.
I'm glad that like the secrets have been revealed, like with the whole like we know now why Aizo doesn't like women, right? Not that he doesn't like them, but that why he has like an aversion to them. And I think it's really from his brother.
I think it's really from his brother, and I don't think it's because he necessarily hates women. I think if he's like, I hate women, it'll put them off from him.
Exactly. It's more like it's a wall he puts up.
It's a wall he puts up rather than like, oh,
actual
well, I just
disdain.
Yeah, and like, which is very like, it's very topsy turvy coming from an idol.
Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. Yeah. Considering
like,
he's an idol, it's a little weird.
Well, because I was like, man, Aizo's brother, you are kind of a piece of shit, man.
Listen. I understand that, like, what I like about I like Aizo's brother is that he says, like, I did suck, right? Like, I was the worst, right?
Yeah.
Which I appreciate, because like, I'm not saying that it'd be me, but, like, I knew a guy who was very similar in his younger years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he turned out okay.
You sure about that?
I think so. I think I turned out okay. I mean, he turned out okay. What?
You heard it here, folks.
Wee bit of a heartbreaker. But like, I was past tense. But yeah. But I like that he, you know, acknowledges people like that, and me have to admit that, like, you know, you sucked in the past. But what I like is that he's able to be like, like, I got better, right? Like, I stopped being so selfish, right? And that's important, that he stops being selfish, that he is there for his brother when he needs him.
He even said, like, he's just like, you know, if they got, like, hurt in the process or whatever, it's like, well, at least they had fun. Like, but they had fun too, right? And it's like, woo!
That's a harsh way to look at it. Yeah.
That's a harsh way to look at it. Oh,
even
my God.
I wasn't that much of a jerk. I just kept dating people because I couldn't understand. That's a whole other topic for another day. But it was me discovering that I was ace, because I was like, why don't I like these people? Right? Like, yeah.
Why don't I feel I feel the attraction that everyone says? Like it feels like a myth sometimes, you know?
It
Like
does.
it felt like a myth.
Well, it did,
but anyways,
right? Yeah, that's a topic for another day. But yeah, my relationship, if you're curious, it's like, oh, were they spicy? No, they were painfully boring and they lasted like a week and then I moved on. Literally just like, want to go to the movies? Cool. Repeat for a few days and then that was it. Very, very exciting. Not quite like Aizo's brother, you know, like a little different. But yeah, Aizo's brother, defending him was great. We get to learn more about Aizo and his sort of aversion to women. And then we learned that Yujiro was actually not technically in trouble with the police. Like, he was, but because he was covering for his younger brother, and that's why his younger brother was there and so adamant on finding the culprit, because he wanted to help his older brother as a way to sort of pay him back for the incident with the police. And also, friggin' Yujiro's dad was awesome. Yeah. Because I was so concerned that his dad was gonna be like, all this idle nonsense, but he's like, hey, listen, like, if they're putting you in the tabloids and stuff, you clearly must be doing very well for yourself, right? And he's like, I'm like, are you proud? Like, do you have anything to feel guilty over? No. He's like, then I'm proud of you. Good for you. Stand like, and he says like, he tells him like, stand proud, and you walk out there and you show them who you are, right? Yeah. Like, I really loved that, right? I was like, good for them. Like I was so shocked. I was very relieved because I thought Yujiro's parents were gonna give him shit, but no. Aizo's brother I thought was gonna like poke fun at him, and he kind of does, but mostly in a like brother way, right? Like, you know, like you tease each other type thing. Yeah. It was good. Everything with Aizo and Yujiro was great. I loved them at the press conference basically saying like, screw you guys, we're gonna stay in school, deal with it, right? Yep. And then everyone's like, cool. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. There was things that had me pulling my hair out, but generally speaking, it was very good.
It was. It really was. Overall, it was like a really good episode. I'm glad, because like I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought they were framing Hiyori as if she was right.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Like it because it really did feel like that at first. But as the episode went on, it was like, oh, actually, no. I think they're going to still go after, because like I think she's going to be essentially like, no, it's fine. But Yujiro and Aizo are like, no,
it is not fine.
Yeah. It is not fine, and they're going to do something about it. But that's just their characters too, right? Is to just do something about it. Like when it comes to Hiyori, they'll do something about it. Like we already saw that happen with the model lady chick from, you know, like the episode where she like tripped Hiyori. Yeah, right? Like we already saw them like standing up for her, right? And that was the first time we had ever seen that, right? And
do you hear that?
So no.
It's raining really hard against my window.
Man.
The gods are upset that we did not get a Chizuru call-out episode.
Yeah, I know. The gods.
The gods.
But yeah, like we already saw them defend Hiyori, so it wouldn't make sense for them to not defend Hiyori here.
Exactly.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm glad that they stood up for her.
Yeah, me too.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, with that said, outro. And that's going to do it for today's video, everybody. So we hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot. Share the video around. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to our lovely patrons. Look at these beautiful people. All these people who help keep this channel afloat. I sincerely appreciate it. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to Asaki VT, Elizabeth Just Elizabeth, Jeremy P, Matt87 Eagle, Shadow Creative, Shiorans, Stephen G, Stevie W, Trapmaster, Trevor W, and Tristan G. Thank you all once again so much for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon or here on YouTube just by watching the videos. I sincerely appreciate it. Be good, and we will see you next time.